All right, guys. So it is officially official. Aaron Rodgers is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Is this good? Is this bad? What does it mean for Mason Rudolph? What does it mean for quarterback Will Howard? There's a lot of question marks here you got to ask yourself. And a lot of people right now in the media talking about how this is a flop. Aaron Rodgers is done. Look what he did to the Jets, who he plays week 1 against Justin Fields, by the way. We'll talk about that, give some early predictions in just a minute. But at the end of the day, is it a good move from the Pittsburgh Steelers? And is it the right move for quarterback Aaron Rodgers? Well, first of all, let me go ahead and just start off by saying I believe this is the move that was supposed to be done. Now, we did want to see this before the draft. The Steelers didn't take Aaron before the draft. Everyone's freaking out in the draft. They go over Shedeur Sanders. They go over Jalen Milroe. And then all of a sudden, late, they go with Will Howard. First of all, Will Howard is a very good quarterback. I think he is an absolute steal for where they got him in the draft. To me, he's one of the most NFL-ready quarterbacks looking at the class, in my opinion. So I think moving forward with Will Howard behind Mason Rudolph would have been decent anyway. But don't get it twisted, guys. Aaron Rodgers is only here for a 1-year deal. It's not like they committed to this guy. They didn't give him a Sam Darnold deal. They didn't give him a Kirk Cousins deal in Atlanta. It's nothing like that. It is 1 year. If he's not playing well, they still have Mason Rudolph. If he tears his Achilles, they also still have Will Howard. And then they got Skylar Thompson chilling back there in the 4 spot on the depth chart. But overall, right now, what does this mean? First of all, Aaron Rodgers is a starting quarterback. If you go look at the Pittsburgh Steelers depth chart right now, it's already updated. Aaron Rodgers is listed as the starter. Mason Rudolph is listed as the number 2, and then Will Howard at the 3. And once again, Skylar Thompson is listed at the 4. Now, all of that said here, take a look at Aaron Rodgers here. Got a little bit of gray in the beard. I'm not sure he's dyeing the hair yet, but you could maybe argue a little bit of dye there in that hair, potentially. Is he past his days of playing? Well, let's just remember, and I don't want to compare Aaron Rodgers by any means to Mr. Tom Brady, the GOAT, but everybody thought Brady was done. Now, it wasn't quite the same scenario when he left New England, but New England thought it was the same scenario. They thought they had the best of Brady. He's done. He's on the up and out, whatever. And he goes on to win with a lot to prove and kind of to walk away and be happy with his career. Aaron Rodgers at this point has been thrown out from the Packers. He has gone over here to the Jets. He tears his Achilles on the 3rd play, his very first year there, tries to come back, does a bunch of rehab, comes back this last year. The coaching carousel was horrible. The play calling was horrible. Yes, they bring in Devontae Adams. They had a couple moments. It was nothing special. I don't think too much into that one. But the question is, and what I'm seeing in the media is everybody talking about how Aaron Rodgers broke the Jets. The Jets. Do you guys know who the Jets are? The Jets were already a broken organization that thought this dude was going to come in and just fix the problem. Now, did he fleece them? Maybe a little bit. But if his Achilles wouldn't have happened, who knows? Maybe this last season was just him getting his feet back under him. It's more that to me than it is that Aaron Rodgers just sucks now and all these other things. Also, if you go look at Aaron Rodgers' stats, and let me be the first person to say, if you watch any of our content, you know I'm one of the hardest people on Aaron Rodgers, and I'm also a diehard Steelers fan. So don't think I'm all sunshine and rainbows over here. But the one thing that other analysts at the Sports Forum argued me on towards the end of the season was that Aaron Rodgers was not the problem. They said, look, he's not the problem, Riggs. You keep giving this guy crap, but at the end of the day, look around. Look at the other stats. Aaron has no time to throw the ball. Yes, he didn't be perfect all the time, but he made a lot of really good throws. When he got time, he was making things happen. They were putting some points up on the board. But overall, it's kind of like I said, they thought this guy was going to come down from the heavens and he was just going to fix their team. And it just didn't work like that. Now you look over here at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a team that's a lot more put together than the Jets team that he walked into. Yes, they got rid of George Pickens. Honestly, I think it's a good thing. I don't think Aaron Rodgers and George Pickens would have got along at all at all. It's just not Aaron's kind of guy, George Pickens. But DK Metcalf, now that's a guy that I think Aaron Rodgers can have a phenomenal relationship. I don't want to compare him to Devontae Adams, but at the end of the day, I think they're both really good guys. I think they're both very good workers. They're both phenomenal athletes, great receivers, veterans of the game. I think Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf are going to get along very, very nicely. Now, no Najee Harris, but you do have Jaylen Warren taking the RB1 role at this point. Steelers also go ahead and grab a back there in the draft from Iowa. So another great piece in the running back room. I feel like the weapons at the moment for the Steelers are pretty good. And if you guys have been listening, Ian Rappaport came out and said that they're still working on another move for a wide receiver. There's been a few names floated out there. There's been some rumors, but at the end of the day, it sounds like the Steelers are going to get one more receiver. It's not going to be a wide receiver one because you already have DK Metcalf. You did let George Pickens go willingly, even though George claims now that I made them trade me. I forced them to trade me. Bro, see, like, it doesn't matter. We don't need George Pickens. Half the fans didn't want George Pickens. He's an overrated receiver. He's a good talent, but is his talent worth his BS? I don't really think so. So Aaron's in a much better situation, in my opinion. Now, they did add some stuff there in the draft. I think the line's going to be a little bit better this year. The defense looks good always. The little couple problems they had last year, they fixed it in the draft. This team should be giving Aaron Rodgers the ball many, many times. They should be able to extend drives. The defense should be able to get off the field pretty quickly, be able to let Aaron consistently stay warm out there. That was one major problem that he faced when he played in New York, was that they just couldn't seem to keep them on the field. Then their defense would come out. They'd go on these 12 to 14 play drives and touchdowns, and it was just demoralizing for the New York Jets. So in my opinion, is Aaron in a much better place? I absolutely think so. I think he's in a better place than he was with the Green Bay Packers. I think he's in a phenomenal spot here. And at the end of the day, for all the Steelers fans out there, you still have Mason Rudolph, who 12 hours ago was the guy moving forward for the season. So don't be like, oh, we didn't want this guy. I see how we don't want this guy. Well, then you're stupid. I'm a Steelers fan. I'm not a Rodgers fan. I want this guy. You need Aaron Rodgers. He has something to prove. He's a veteran of the game. Him and Mike Tomlin are going to get along. Him and DK Metcalf are going to get along. And Aaron has to prove that the Jets' Aaron Rodgers is not Aaron Rodgers anymore. He's had time to recover from the Achilles. He's had time away from the game. He put a lot of thought into this over the summer. As we all know, we were tired of waiting for the Aaron Rodgers news. I think it's a phenomenal signing. It's a one-year deal commitment for the Steelers. It gives Will Howard an incredible quarterback to learn after. I find it kind of funny that George Pickens said he wanted to leave because he said in an interview his dream quarterback to work with is Aaron Rodgers. So you missed out on that because you're greedy. But overall, do I think Aaron Rodgers will start? Yes, I do. Do I think Aaron Rodgers will still be the quarterback after the first 6 weeks? Yes, I do. Do I think Aaron Rodgers will take the Steelers to a winning record? Yes, I do. Do I think the Steelers will make the playoffs? Yes, I do. Now, the big question is, will Aaron Rodgers be able to secure Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh fan base the coveted playoff win that they've been chasing now for years? The answer to that question is yes. And let me tell you right now, if Aaron Rodgers leads the Steelers to a playoff victory, it was the biggest win ever. They don't have to go to the conference championship. They don't have to win the division. They don't have to do any of that. If they do, it's all an extra perk. But what we want to see as Steelers fans is we don't want to miss the playoffs. And if we get in there, we're not trying to play the Chiefs or the Bills in the first game and lose by 2 touchdowns. That's not what we want to see. We've had that. We've been there. We've done that. I think Aaron Rodgers gets him over the hump. I think the way the Steelers run an offense, The Jets tried to use him kind of how he was in Green Bay. They wanted him to be a guy that was going to move around and make things happen and extend plays in the pocket. The biggest issue Steelers fans have had, and just critics of the game, is that they play this simple offense. They go with the check downs. How many times did people give Russ crap this last year because of the way he was checking down and throwing the easy throws and doing these things? Exactly. That means Aaron Rodgers will be safe. He won't be taking extra shots. And the same way Russell Wilson had success with the deep ball, Aaron Rodgers will have just as much, if not more, success with the deep ball, and he's better across the middle of the field than Russell Wilson is. He's smarter with the football than Russell Wilson is. I don't see how this is a loss. I really don't. I got all these people in my DM. Oh, Riggs, don't get too excited. Don't get too excited about what? They brought in a veteran who's one of the greatest of all time, Hall of Famer. It's a 1-year deal, very little commitment. We got DK Metcalf. They improved the defense. They improved the line in the draft. Things are looking good for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like Rappaport said, I don't think they're done yet. I think there's still some more coming out from the Pittsburgh Steelers here before the season begins. Now, you guys can go ahead and check us out, sportsforummedia.com. We got a bunch of articles up for you. NBA Finals, Stanley Cup. We'll have one about Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers in the coming days, looking at their picture moving forward before training camp, and a lot more there. But do us a favor, guys, if you're on YouTube or on Twitter, feel free, guys, drop a comment. Let us know how you're feeling about Aaron Rodgers. Is it a win for Pittsburgh? Is it a win for Aaron and a bad move for Pittsburgh? Will they make the playoffs? Will they not make the playoffs? Is this team going to be what a few people have projected? And they're going to be a 5-6 win football team that's going to have an early draft pick when the draft's in Pittsburgh next year. What's going to happen? Because me as a fan, I think they're making the playoffs. I think they win a playoff game. I think Aaron Rodgers is a great move, and I think this is great for Will Howard to learn behind Aaron Rodgers. I, for the first time as a Steelers fan in a long time, feel like if Aaron goes down or if he sucks, we got Will Howard and Mason Rudolph. We are fine as a Steelers fan base. So tell me what you guys think. Maybe this is just a fan talking, but I'm excited about this. I feel good about it. Aaron Rodgers is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. Training camp about a week away, so we'll see what's going on there. But until next time, guys, this has been The Buzz. I'm Riggs Tamburo with the Sports Forum. Give us a follow at Sports Forum CO and subscribe to the YouTube channel at The Sports Forum. Until next time, guys, take care. Aaron Rodgers, here we go, brother.